Joining me now by phone is the mayor of Victoria, Texas, Polasek. And Mr. Mayor, what's the latest?
Hey, how are you doing? Thanks for having me. We're picking up the pieces and trying to respond to people's needs. Our current big issues are we have some pretty widespread power outages, and our water system is currently down, but we're working on that feverishly.
Have you spoken with some of your neighbors, some of your residents, some of your constituents, and how are they holding up? How are the spirits of your community?
You know, I think actually they're all pretty good. I did stop by a shelter this evening, and those people seem to be okay, and they know that this is going to pass, and we're going to get things together. Our community is very self-reliant. We do help each other, and it's really showing in this current situation.
I've been to Victoria, Texas, a charming community, some wonderful people there.
Thank you.
What are you thinking about in terms of the coming days? Are you worried about flooding? What are your immediate concerns?
Yeah, well, as I mentioned, of course, getting the power back on, and the utilities working hard to do that. With respect to city operations, the water system is top priority, and we had an issue with the large generator that we're correcting hopefully tomorrow morning. Beyond that, there's a lot of people wanting to come in and help, and we need to coordinate those efforts, and we need to complete an assessment of the situation. We've got a lot of first responders out this afternoon to kind of do an assessment of damage and what it is we need to prioritize. I know there will be some housing issues, a lot of infrastructure to traffic lights and things like that. So we need to make sure people are safe right now.
You mentioned housing issues. Have you lost a lot of homes in Victoria, or is it just too soon to say?
It's a little soon, but based on my observations this afternoon, it's not too bad on the residential situation, but I only covered a small portion of the city. I think we actually fared pretty well. The storm, as was mentioned by Adam earlier, did diminish rapidly, and so we didn't get some of the winds as high as we thought we would, which was a blessing.
Speaking of blessings, any concerns in terms of people being injured, and I'm hoping that there's been no loss of life in your community?
Not that I'm aware of. I have not heard of any loss of life. One thing we are very strict on is security. The Victoria Police Department, as well as the County Sheriff's Office, are really patrolling heavily and watching homes and checking. And we currently have the curfew in place, so if you are not out on an official business or emergency needs, you may be stopped and sent home. We realize people want to get out and check on things. So security is a top priority right now. And people that with ill intent need to know we're serious. We're not going to tolerate that in our community.
Mr. Mayor, last question for me, which is, how are you holding up? How are your top people holding up? I know you can go through adrenaline for the first 24 hours or so, but as this grinds on, how's everybody doing?
You know, we did well, but we came to a point this evening where it's time for some people that need to get some sleep, including myself. So we sat down in the policy staff meeting and discussed that, and we relieved some of our emergency center folks to make sure they went and got some sleep, and their replacements are in place. So that is working well. So we've managed through it well.
Well, Mr. Mayor, don't let me hold you. Mayor Polasek of Victoria, Texas, thanks for your time, and we wish your community the best.
Thank you, Mike.